Hi, everybody. I just wanted to give a little bit of a walkthrough for our midterm reflections, which are coming up. Hopefully you've been taking a little time out of your busy schedules to revise your portfolios, given the feedback that you were given during the pre-course reflections. So you should be working on revising that homepage, the About Me section, and then you will be adding this new piece, the mid-course reflections. So for this, you're going to want to make sure that you have a nice balance in all of your sections. So I'm going to share my screen of a student's previous midterm reflection and go through a type of checklist with you so that you can make sure to include all of the pieces in your own mid-course reflection. So give me a moment here. And here we have the mid-course reflection of a previous student. And you'll notice that they have a nice introduction section up here, and then a link back to Project 1, the WPA outcomes, and the habits of mind. So that's how you'd begin the mid-course reflection. And then coming to the section down here, what I saw in the pre-course reflections was that there weren't enough examples in all of the different sections. So many of you had some samples for the WPA outcomes, but you didn't have any samples for the habits of mind. Or you didn't have any samples at all, they were missing. And so what we want to try to achieve is a nice balance between the samples for your WPA outcomes, your habits of mind, and your transfer section and theory of writing section. So if we take a look at this particular sample, you'll notice the student starts out here with rhetorical knowledge and gives a nice reflection. It's clearly organized. This part is highlighted. And so this person goes back through what happened in Project 1, and so some really detailed reflections. Now, as they're going through these reflections, they are including their samples, and notice that they have a variety of different types of samples. So this is going to hit your multimodal piece that's crucial in developing this portfolio. So you can see that there's some captures off of the Facebook page, some information on the sample profile. Then also the student provides the profile that they did right here embedded in the course reflections section and relates it back to the WPA outcomes. And you can see that if you click this arrow here, it takes you through a couple of pages, and then you can scroll up and down as well. So that's a nice demonstration of using some multimodal features. As we come further along, you'll notice also that they have some feedback inserted here, comments. So that gives you a nice sense of how they're applying the WPA outcomes. Still, they're reflecting and analyzing on those WPA outcomes and giving lots of examples and details. Notice now we're getting into the habits of mind, and they start out with some reflections here, but they don't stop there. The student then goes ahead and gives an illustration of the habits of mind in progress. Notice how this feature, we can scroll through this sample, another use of the multimodal technique. So lots of little pieces and features where you can scroll through and look at examples and reflections that refer to these examples, and then some different types of examples, which is key. You don't want to just have the same types of examples throughout. So finally, we come down here to the theory of writing piece. And the student applies what they wrote from the beginning, pre-course thoughts on their theory of writing, to conclude in some further reflections in the mid-course. So you want to go back to your original theory of writing and, of course, read through my comments again and see how you can incorporate what you've learned so far. So you're not just going to have the same theory of writing here. This is going to include the experience that you've now had in the class and some reflections on where you've come so far. And then you'll include your samples, as the student did here, and that pretty much sums up a really nice example of what's expected for the mid-course reflection. So in summary, you want to start with your little introduction, and then you want to make sure you have plenty of reflection, plenty of samples, different types of samples, and use the multimodal style. So hopefully that will keep you on target then for what's expected in the mid-course reflections, and I look forward to reading them later this week.